Okay, guys, we're back with Ragnarok, episode 7. It's named Satan because it has to do with Beelzebub. But we just got introduced to Mr. Tesla. In fact, the scientist who made Tesla is one of the people who is going to representing us as humanity in Ragnarok. And the ninth sister, I think her name is Gondol, ended up pairing up with him, and it was cool because when Gon and Brunhilde walked in, he was like, doing calculations on the board because he's known as a scientist. She was like, a lot of people like say a lot of his work is magic because of how he's able to create different things, but he's like, don't insult me like that. It's just because I believe in science, and with science you can make things happen. So after those two pairing, I didn't get far into the episode, but those two have already paired and committed Volundar, and she submitted like herself willingly and everything like that. So let's see what's up when it comes to this episode, and it has to do with Beelzebub. So I feel like we're gonna get into the backstory because we keep getting like foreshadows of him or just seeing him in spurts within episodes, but we don't really know much about him. I didn't even know that Beelzebub meant Lord of the Flies. I did not know that. And they're saying it's the embodiment of gluttony. Like, wow. They say that Beelzebub was like the loneliest person in heaven, and that like everyone like talked negatively about him and said that he was cursed by Satan, and it was like if you had any connection to him, that bad things would just happen to you. Crazy, man. And they keep saying anathema. So hopefully we learn what that means, because they're saying it like this nigga's Voldemort or something. So I'm like, what the fuck? So I told y'all, like, everyone in heaven seen Beelzebub as like a bad omen, but like out of everybody, like Lucifer, Azrael, and Samson or something like that. Not Samuel. There we go. So like those three were like, yo, like let's go to Eden or whatever and eat some apples and stuff like that. And Beelzebub is like completely ignoring them, like stonewalling these niggas, literally. Damn. So right, he finally made friends. You feel me? They would laugh and stuff together, and they were hanging out. Unfortunately, for one last time, and he woke up and they were just all like murked. And the first thing that we saw, because you remember when they introduced Beelzebub, they named him, like, you feel me, the king of flies. That's what was all around. Everything was dead and there was nothing but like just flies. You feel me? Well, they zoomed in on a specific fly when they zoomed in on his friend, like, that could be traumatizing because he finally felt like he wasn't alone and that he made true friendship, and then it didn't even last for long. Like, it was so short-lived in a sense. Like, you feel me? Like, and he was crying at the fact that he finally had fucking friends, because he never made friends because he was afraid that what like people would say about him as far as him being cursed and that anyone attached to him would die, you feel me, wasn't true. Like, you feel me, because he was hanging out with his friends for a cool little minute before they, like, and they say that like Satan like rips your heart from your chest and ends your life right then and there. And that's literally how he found his friends, with their heart missing just a whole being there. So then after, like, his whole friends gone, he vowed that he would seek revenge against Satan for taking away his friends. Like, that's he discovered his purpose for so long. He's just been by himself, isolated, secluded, not really bothering anybody, because he felt like, you feel me, that he was real life cursed. And then after that shit happened with his friends, he was like, "Man, you know what, man, fuck
Curse
this
word.
nigga. I'm gonna make it my duty to find you
Curse
and fuck you
word.
up," basically. So after that, this is when Beelzebub, because when we meet Beelzebub, we learned that he's very smart. If any, because he was able to fix Adamus and put him back together. You know what I'm saying? And that he works with technology, stuff like that. After his friends, like I said, died, he took his time to make it his goal to finally meet and reveal who Satan was. But also he did a lot of studying and was in his books. So because of him always taking time studying, his kind of look of himself dragged, like, in a sense, like he became a little bit more darker, like his eyes became like Like, you know when bitch, when you study
Beep.
real hard and you pull an all-nighter, your eyes
Curse
look fucked up. Like, you
word.
look like, like out of it. You know what I'm saying? That's how he was looking. And then because of that incident, he was put under the protection of the heavenly board or whatever. And now this someone is like coming up to him while he's in the library. He's always at the library. And like taunting him with the tale of what happened. I don't know who this heifer is, but we about to find out. Ooh, it's Lilith. Get the
Curse
fuck out of here.
word.
She's like, I'd like to help you. What? It is so funny that it's Lilith because they were in Eden. You get what I'm saying? So, and like, there's always like that saying whether or not Eve was the first or was it Lilith? But they said that Lilith was the first, but she rebelled, so God had to make Eve. But wanna know what's so funny? I don't know if this conspiracy is true, but they said they're like, I'm not saying there was multiple Adam and Eve. So what do you do when you fuck up? You make another one. So do you guys really think that this is the first Earth? I don't want to like, you feel me, like do too much, but imagine if this isn't the first time Earth and all this shit happened. Imagine if there was many cycles of like Adam and Eve and we just couldn't get it together. Just a thought. So Lilith and Beelzebub share a friend in common, which is Lucifer, and saying that that was her like childhood friend, and they want to unravel the mysteries of who this benevolent person is because his name spooks everybody, but there ain't no face to the spook. So they're like voyaging all around the world to try to find, like, you feel me, Satan. I low-key feel like their relationship might turn romantic a little bit, and I hope, you know what I'm saying? They say that pain helps make results, or pain, pushes you to a capacity of great strength. You know what I'm saying? Like, without pain, like, how do you endure? I feel like that's gonna happen with Beelzebub, but we're gonna see but I feel like I'm calling it before it happens. But I just, like, a sidebar, like, your girl's kind of going through it, but doing the reviews be kind of making me feel better. It took me a long time to even pick up with the camera without crying, so let's keep talking about this so I don't cry again. Damn, this is fucked up. So, right, he was like in his study and he was like, yo, who are you? And then like his like little light goes out, aka his candle. And then he actually gets to see what like Satan looks like, and he's holding his three friends and he like stabs them, like literally like this, holding them. So imagine three people and then like their hearts getting like stabbed, and he's like torturing them in front of him, and he can't do nothing, and the blood is literally of his friends leaking on him, and he's like, all that like you love will perish, like love shall turn to hatred or whatever. So it turned out to be a dream, and he was like, yo, like, why did Lucifer even want to be like my friend? Like, I don't get it. Like why would he want to be my friend out of everybody? So Beelzebub, you feel me, when he reaches his peak of love with people, he kills them. What? And then while he's killing Lilith, she's like, I'm so glad you've returned back to your final form. So it's like she knew he was gonna kill her. But that's so weird, right? Like, what? And it's called Destrudo. What the